I'm good, y'all. I'm eating a salad. Hey, hey, hey. Miss G, Orlando. Hey, hey, hey. What kind of salad? It must be. It is, because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And I'm probably going to put a little more in here, because this is not enough. It's just regular salad, romaine lettuce. I put some raisins in here. Sprinkled a little bit of the pecan pieces in there. Yeah. Little raspberry dressing. This like a grown person salad. You know what I mean? When you have raspberry and no ranch, that's when you on your grown your grown status. What did I do with my? Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta get my charger. My phone is about to die, and I am one of those who will see the warnings but don't take heed to the warnings. I'm one of those. And then when it finally dies, I'm one of those that be like, well, it's not like it didn't warn me. Multiple times. That's me. That's me. Thank you, Betty. Uh-oh. Nuh-uh, not my plate breaking. On my bowl, I mean. Shoot. Y'all. And I ain't even gonna lie. The thought went through my head. You deserve some cracked chicken. It went through my head. And I said, no, devil. Get thee out of my head. Brought me a salad to be good. But hey guys, I'm here in the office. I just finished meeting with a family. And y'all, this lady's so sweet. So sweet. She unfortunately her husband passed yesterday, and she called us yesterday, made an appointment to come in, and so I met with her. Miss Tiffany is actually out this week on a much needed and deserved vacation. Bless her, because I don't know what a vacation is. But God bless her. She was blessed by her daughter-in-law and granddaughter with this vacation back in January for her birthday, and they gave it to her for her birthday, and said that they're taking her in April on this trip. I said, well, that's a blessing. So guess who in the office this week? Yeah. But met with her on today, and I think she said that her husband didn't really have family, no family left, and now that he's passed on, she doesn't really have family like that left. And I don't know what it is about older people, with me, with older people. It's not just me. I know my cousin is the same way. We're just so empathetic to the elderly, and she would probably cringe and choke me for calling her elderly, but she is. I mean, when you're in your 60s and beyond, or 70s and beyond, gotta go ahead and come to terms with you being elderly, and you are. And it's nothing wrong with it, when you get, it's a blessing to get to that point. So her husband passed, and she comes in today. I met with her, and we got to talking and everything, and I started asking her questions because she asked me a question that really broke my heart. And I'm probably gonna do a video on this, but she asked me a question that broke my heart, and the question was, what would happen if the coroners? How far back do they go to look for family? And I'm like thinking, because her husband is not a coroner case, so I'm like, huh? And she said, no, and I'm thinking maybe she's not legally married to him. Maybe that's why she's asking me this question. And she said, I just want to know, like, how far back, because they're going to either find me with my remote in my hand or something else, she said. And I'm like, realizing that she's talking about herself. She's asking about for herself. And it just, God, it kind of took me by surprise, but it just instantly broke my heart. And I didn't even know how to answer that question. I really didn't. And I just was like, you don't, okay. That's when I started asking her about family and everything. She was like, no, I don't have any family. And she said, I have relatives. The people that maybe you saw every blue moon every once in a while. That's what she's talking about. Like, all of her siblings, her parents, her, the immediate aunts and uncles are all gone. So she said, I have relatives that, I used to try to keep in contact with, but then I realized, like, wait, hold on. Why am I the only one doing all the calling? So I stopped. So they don't really call her. So I'm just like, wow, God, it just broke my heart. And so I instantly looked at her and I just said, you got me. I don't know what is God. It has to be God, because I don't do that. I don't do that. I haven't done it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. She got me. She got me. So I'm gonna be in contact with her, keeping up with her, helping her with whatever she needs. Because no one should have to have those thoughts of leaving this world and who's gonna find me, who's gonna check on me, who's gonna know that I'm gone, no one should have those thoughts, Ugh. Yeah. That broke my heart. Yeah. She actually said whoever find me, I might have my remote in my hand or whatever, and I'm like, ugh. When I realized she was talking about herself, I was just like, oh my God. No, you got me. Yeah. I hope so. I mean, I don't do it to be, you know, it's just in me. I don't know, y'all. There's something about people who just need the help, the support, the whatever. I don't have much. I don't know. I don't know. It's just in me, y'all. My grandmother was like that, though. My grandmother took in everybody. Everybody. And we live, okay, get this, y'all. Just a little fact about me. I grew up in Compton. And my grandmother's house was, we called it the plantation. I don't know why, but that's what we called it, the plantation. And everybody lived there. At some point, everybody lived there. My grandmother had a front house that had 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Y'all, I have no idea how we made it with that 1 bathroom in all of us. I have no clue. She had 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. When you walked in the house, there was the living room over here to the right, and to the left, there was a dining room, a big dining room, right? And then right when you walk past the dining room area, you go into the kitchen, or if you go through the living room, you going down the hallway. There was a hallway, and then first room was my grandmother's room. Continue on, there was a heater, a wall heater. Y'all, we would stand in front of that wall heater every morning in the winter. Yeah, we stand right there in front of that wall heater. All of us just huddled up. And it was a floor heater one too, but I don't think the floor heater worked. Because, yeah, we would stand right in front of the wall heater. And then there was 2 bedrooms, and then it was that 1 bathroom. And in that house, you don't lock that. I don't even think the bathroom door locked, to be honest. I don't think it locked. I have no idea. But you did not lock that door, because mainly in the front house, because there was a back house too. So let me stay on the front house first. The front house, it was mainly us women. It was mainly women. So when you go to that bathroom, and if my grandmother come to that door, it had to have locked. Yeah, it had to be a lock on there, because when she would come to that door, and if it was locked, she'd be like, open this door, because it'll be either her standing up at the sink washing up or brushing her teeth or something, somebody using the commode, and somebody in the tub or in the shower. That's how it was. And it was normal. It was normal. It was not something that was abnormal to us. This was reality. This was life. So go out the back door. Y'all, the back door is infamous for never locking, for never really closing really well. I don't know how many doors they didn't put up there, because all of them would get towed up. At one point, it was a sheet there because the door broke. That back door is literally in my dreams, y'all. I'm not kidding. It is literally in my dreams. When I have dreams about going home, I'm always at that house. And I can see through the kitchen window. It's always like somebody is coming. And I'm like, let me go lock the door. And then I realize, ain't no door. They coming in to get us. Always. My nightmares is always that house, and it's always, y'all, it's so funny. But anyways, you go out the back door, or the sheet, and then there was a garage, and then there was an apartment on top of the garage. Now the garage, eventually they had converted into a bedroom, and then up top was a 1-bedroom apartment. Y'all, I got some stories. Got some stories to tell. First of all, the stairs that go up to the apartment, always rickety, always scary. Go at your own risk. Or use at your own risk. Because we would run up and down them stairs, so they would get worn really quick. And I don't think the people that was really installing them was doing it correctly. Really don't. And my grandmother had a huge backyard. If y'all know about Compton homes in Compton, they got nice sized backyards. So she had a driveway, and right before the back door there was a gate that cut off the actual, driveway part. But then when you walk out the back door, it's still a little part where you can park a car. And let me tell you, my stepfather did. My stepfather, when I tell you he collect cars, oh my gosh, he collects cars. Everywhere he goes, everywhere he lives, he always hoards cars. So when we were living there, he had cars back there. Him and my mom stayed in the apartment above. Now, not all of my life. Not all of my life. For a small part of my life, we moved. We did move, but then we ended up coming back to that house. And that's where I finished high school and everything, right there. So all my friends, when they would come to look for me, they would always come to that house until they sold it. But anyways, so my mom and her husband stayed in the apartment upstairs over the garage. They converted the downstairs into a studio type, like a apartment with a bathroom. My brothers stayed in there. I had 3 brothers. They stayed in there. And yeah. When I tell you it stunk up in there, every time we opened the door, it was always dark in there, and it stunk. Like, oh God, boys, oh Jesus. So, I don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it, but we did it, and it was fine. I do not. I do not. Even though my brothers, I guess to them we lived in the ghetto. To them, for me, I felt like we were a middle class family, just having to live together sometimes for financial reasons or whatever, and it was okay. Although there were several times we had to go and stay somewhere else because we had to put a tent over the house. Y'all know about them tents. Because them riches. Them riches. Several times they put tents on the house, and then they had to tell them it's the neighbors, is what you can't get rid of them. It's like, I don't know. For a while we did, though. For a while, I think towards the end we did get rid of them. We did towards the end, because once I graduated high school. No, before I graduated high school, and so yeah, we didn't have that problem anymore. But my grandmother. Oh, and mice. Oh, Jesus. We're not going to talk about the back house with the mice. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. And now you would think I'm hella bougie, and I don't care, because I cannot stand I can't open up a cabinet door with my plate I can't do that. Trauma. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Open up I cannot to this day. But yeah, I used to say, oh, I can't wait till I get older. I am not gonna have a house full of people. I'm not gonna live with a whole bunch of people. And for a long time I did not. I lived by myself, and if you know me, you know that I'm an introvert. True and true. I'm an introvert. I love being by myself. But the older I get, the more I love to have family, or to entertain family at my house and at my house. Y'all heard me? At my house. Like to entertain them at my house. When I'm at somebody else's, I'm itching to get back to my house. But I love for them to be there. Like Christmas, my family was at my house for Christmas for about 5 days. They were at my house. And I was cool with that. I loved it. I actually did not want them to leave. We had fun. But my grandmother, y'all, she would pick up strays. That's what we would say. We would come home from school, and our room is now rearranged. They got an extra bed in it, and we like, What is happening? Or the living room now is converted into something, or the dining room is now converted. And we like, oh my God, Granny, who is this? Who is these people? And we just had to get used to it. My grandmother would literally, that's the kind of heart she had. And I get it from a granny. Get it from a granny. Because she, if you tell her that you need a place to stay, or you did, then she gonna make room for you. She gonna tell y'all, move over. And we had to do it. Move over. Oh well. And don't say, why you gotta put them in my room? Your room. You ain't got no room. You pay any bills? Your name on the deed? She ain't never had to say that to us, because we wasn't stupid. We would just murmur and complain amongst each other. And that was it. But I get it from my granny. Yes. Mice. I remember one time I came outside and it was a big old possum. I don't know if I think it died. And the tail was so long. Oh my God. Y'all, did y'all see that woman with a possum and came in the room? I don't know if that was a skit or what, but she came in the room. She was kissing on it, and they were like saying, oh my God, I don't know if it was her husband or her son. And he was like, put it back, take it back. No, that's disgusting. Like, ugh! Are you kidding me? Please don't tell me she picked up a stray possum and started kissing on it and stuff. Ah, that's nasty. But yeah, to this day, I can't, don't let me see no roach. Don't let me see no spider. Don't let, no. If I hear something that sound like, and I'm like, I start looking around, oh, that was a fan. It's trauma. It's trauma from childhood. Hear something rattling in the oh God. Trauma. You say y'all. It's just me. Hey, Baron. Yep. I can't stand them either. I cannot stand critters. And it's so funny. You would think that we grew up in the suburbs where there was none and all of that. Nope. But me and my cousin, we're the same way. She literally, and she has a 10-year-old son, my poor nephew. She's my cousin, but her son is my nephew. My son is her nephew. Period. That's how it is in my family. All of my cousins, we grew up really close, like siblings. So we all call, all of our kids call every auntie, uncle. Period. It's just how it is. So my nephew, she would get him to, like she said, Ray, I saw a spider. And I'd be like, okay. And she go, yeah, I had to get him to, she'll say her son, I had to get him to kill it. You got him to kill it? She said, girl, yeah, he ain't scared. What? Wait, I always wondered why God created possums. They are not right. What was I have many questions for God. Many. Yes, you told me the last time, Baron. Remember? Bay and Ron, right? Bayron. Or Bayron. Bay and Ron. Whatever. Jesus is Lord. Amen. Right on. That's right. But let my brothers tell you, we grew up in the ghetto. Me, I don't see it that way. I was fed. We never went hungry. I had shelter. I had family. We had clothes. We wasn't looking raggedy. We didn't have holes in our shoes or in our clothes and stuff like that. We grew up pretty well, to me, in my mind, in my eyes. We were a very tight-knit family, and that alone gave us riches, wealth, just with having families. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have family that don't do drugs. My family, majority of them, they don't know no cussing, no drugs. We're very into church. So I grew up in the church. My grandmother was a minister in the church. Eventually she became an elder, and eventually she became a pastor. A number of my family members are all just one of my cousins is elder. She is a junior, I guess they call her junior pastor, or I can't remember what they call her at the church. She's not the senior pastor, so is it the junior pastor? I don't know. And then my aunt is the senior pastor. So that's my mom's old church, which used to be my grandmother's church. She was the pastor, but then my aunt is now the pastor. So all I knew was church. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. People at school, ooh, yay, what you doing tonight? Church. Where are you going this weekend? Church. What you do for the summer? Went to church. That's all I knew. Church. Well, ooh, we went to Hawaii, me and my family. Da, 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 da. Where'd you go? Went to a church convention. It was out of state, but it was a church convention. Where you went to church day and night. Day and night. Please. Now that part of my childhood, I did not. I appreciate now, but I did not like that part. I did not like that part. I was like, this is just too much church. Way too much church. We got a break on Monday, but then Tuesday, Bible study. Wednesday might be choir rehearsal. Thursday, missionary service. Why I got to go to missionary service? I ain't no missionary. Mother's and missionary, I believe it was. Service. I ain't no mother, ain't no missionary. Why I got to go? Friday, we might have to go to a visiting church. Saturday, we might get a break. We might. Maybe. Or my grandmother gonna make us go down to the church and help out on doing something. Then Sunday, we in church all day. All day. Monday, what you do for the weekend? Church. We went to church. I used to complain to my mom all the time. It's not fair. My friends get 2 days off of school on the weekend, and we only get one, sometimes none. And see, my mother was understanding. My grandmother, on the other hand, she don't talk that. Don't even say anything to her about none of that. She didn't care. You better be thankful. That's what she'll tell you. Thank the Lord, because it's Him who brought you life. You better thank Him. I miss her. Y'all want to see my granny? I have It's a shame. An obituary. And I just noticed this obituary today. Oh. This is my granny. That's her. Orlando, I have to revamp my, I'm in the process of revamping my website, but absolutely, yes. I'm going to put it on Amazon as well. So give me a minute. Give me a week. I'm going to make sure that it gets on to those platforms and available for you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm still eating this itty bitty salad because I didn't make a lot. But how slow I eat. Oh, thank you, Angela. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Uh-oh. Boom. There we go. Y'all see how slow I eat? That now I'm not full. I'm not hungry anymore. Like I was gonna get more, but oh. Hey JD. Yes, so I just been going back down memory lane, little nostalgia for y'all. Well, for me. Talking about where I grew up and how I grew up and my perspective on my childhood. And ultimately, I feel like we were rich. We was not rich financially, but we was rich in the fact that we had each other. I have, well, at the time, I felt like I had a really big family because most of us all lived at the plantation. Most of us all lived, and if we did not live there, they were coming over all the time. All the rest of my cousins and stuff, all the time. So I didn't never have to worry about friends or the lack thereof because I had all my cousins and my siblings, so it didn't matter. But it's sad because our kids are not growing up like that. And we were very close to my grandmother. Like all of us, my grandmother didn't have anybody but her kids and their kids. You know what I mean? She didn't have a husband or anything like that. So it was just her girls, I should say. Because my grandmother has 7 kids. But only her 5 girls were around. My 2 uncles were AWOL from the family. You know, we would try to keep up with them and all of that, but yeah. And then sadly, one of my uncles passed away a year ago. I believe they said on my aunt's birthday, which is April 22nd, not a year ago, 2 years ago, because we didn't find out until last year that he had passed the previous year alone. Didn't have to be alone. He got all of us, but and he was only in his early 50s. So it's just really sad. Really sad. Early 50s or mid 50s? I think he was 55. 54 or 55 when he passed. And didn't have to be alone, but that was his choice. To be estranged from the family. And then my older uncle, who was 9 years older than my mom, so my mother would have been 66 on her birthday on the 15th of this month. She would have been turning 66. So he's 75? but another, he's estranged from the family. He don't answer our phone calls. Nothing. It's just weird. So, oh well. I grew up with my aunts, and for me, it was a blessing. The only two male figures that we had around were my stepfather and one of my aunt's husbands. So we had them two, but yeah. Finally finished. And it's sad to say my brothers are doing the same thing, alienating themselves from the family, not breaking the cycle. It's okay to leave and cleave. That's fine. But we have a family reunion every year. We have every other year we meet in Texas at my cousin's house in Texas. She has a big house out there. I told my auntie, I said, I don't think I'm going to go this year. And it's because last year when we went, it was my first year going without my mom. And not last year, the year before last. Yeah, the year before last. It was the first year going without my mom. And I did not. And I mean, I was okay with, cool with family, even though we kind of got into a heated discussion about politics, because that was the year that we found out who won. And I was not happy about that. Let's just put it like that. But then there's some people in my family who were. So I don't know where y'all stand on that, so I don't want to go deep in that. But we got into a little discussion where it was all of the supporters, I'll call them supporters, all of the supporters against one, me. Now, mind you, my cousin, the house that we were at, she's not a supporter at all. Her and her husband are not at all. And my cousin, just to give you just a little bit of perspective, is this boring? Is this boring to you guys? I hope it's not. Is this boring? Because if it is, then I'll stop talking. But yeah, no, it's not. Okay, thank you. Okay, but no, okay, just to give you perspective, my cousin, I don't know if it makes a difference or anything like that, but she's biracial. She's black and white, and her husband is Vietnamese, and they're not supporters at all. Her mother is not. I think she more on the fence, like, but she's not a fan, I should say. I think she supports some of the things that he do that's like Christianly or whatever, but as far as like him, she's like not a fan, not a supporter. And then my stepfather was there as well. Now they kind of talked him into going, but he was feeling the same way I was feeling. This was the first time there without my mom, so it was a lot. So, but he got through it. We didn't want him to spend Christmas alone. So, even though he has family out here, other family out here, we knew that he would have been at home. So anyways, and he has biological kids here too. He has 2 sons and a daughter as well, and we all grew up together. That's why I have 7. It's 7 of us. I'm sorry, hold on. Oh, in my throat. So that's why I say I have 6 siblings, because we all grew up together since I was 7 years old. They've been in my life, so it's a long time. So but we're not close. Me and my step siblings are not close at all. We were, but we're not now. Um, but we get along still. You know, there's no beef or anything, but we're not close. So, anyways, and my stepfather, he calls on me because me and my mom and him, you know, we all lived together, and I helped, you know, that was my mama. Y'all know that was y'all know. So I had to take care of my mom. Y'all know. So whenever he gets in a situation, he always calls me. Always. He just called me. What was that? Yes, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, he called me yesterday, and he keeps saying, "Ray, I love you. I hope you know that. I love you." He keeps saying that, and it just breaks my heart because he didn't never used to do that ever. Now he's doing it, and it's like, oh God, I hope, you know, I hope he's okay. But he came, and he's not a supporter either. He's not a fan. He's not a supporter. So it's me, that aunt that's not a fan, and my stepfather. But they don't say anything. But I do. I will open up my mouth and say something. And what makes me mad is that politics is being discussed when you know that there's a divide. There's a divide. Why freely does the supporters freely talk about their support? You know, because they're all into the he's doing the Christian whatever. So they talk, you know, freely, but the we don't, you know, they don't say anything, and I try not to say anything because I don't want to get into a debate, and I know it's gonna be all of them against me. And see, the cousin that's not a supporter and her husband was not in the room. Thank God they wasn't in the room, because that would have been a whole thing. She's more vocal than me, and she would have shut it all the way down. She would have said, "Oh no, we are not going to do that in my house. You're not going to make my husband feel uncomfortable, and my mother-in-law and this and that. No, we are not going to." That she would have shut it down, but I didn't have anybody, so I said something, and it became an attack, and instantly, y'all, I shut down instantly because I'm already missing my mom, and my mother was not a supporter, not a fan. So she would have had my back. So I'm already feeling the weight of the grief, and you know, her not being there, and then I'm being attacked, and I'm feeling alone because nobody is coming to my aid. The other two was in the kitchen, and they was like, you know, like. But if you know them, you know that they're not confrontational. They're not gonna say anything. My stepfather and my other aunt, they're very non-confrontational. So I was just like by myself. But like I said, my other cousin that's not a supporter, she would have came down and shut it down. She don't care about being confrontational or whatever. She speaks her mind. But again, she wasn't there. So I got so emotional, and I immediately shut down, and they continued. They said, I said, let's change the subject. And they was like, no, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's change the subject. And they continued to attack. And y'all got so emotional. I got up. It was like a movie, like one of those dramatic, so dramatic. I got up and I started to walk out, and my aunt that was one of the, not the one that's not a supporter, but the one that is. I have two that are. She said something else, and I just bit her head off. I said something, I can't remember. I said, I don't want to talk about it. And I keep trying to shut it down. And I'm in the midst, I'm crying. I can't stand when I start to cry when I'm trying to get my point across, because I can't. Like, I can't. And then I ugly cry at that. So I said, I don't want to talk about it. I said I don't want to talk about it. It's bad enough I don't even have nobody to have my back here. I said my supporter is not here anymore, or something like that. The one that would have had my back is not here anymore. Something I said, and it got quiet instantly in there, because it was just like, oh. And I walked out with no shoes on, in my socks. Just walked out the house. It's like 40 degrees outside. I'm walking down the street with no shoes. I'm pissed. And I'm on my phone. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm looking for a flight out of here. And mind you, this was like, was it day 1 or day 2 that we were there? And we was there for 6 or 7 days. So this was like either day 1 or day 2 that we were there. And yeah, I got so emotional. I started walking down the street and I was looking for flights. And I was like, I am out of here. I am done. I don't have nobody. This I love my family, but my mom, nobody like her. Nobody like my mommy. My mom was my ride or die. My mom was my number one supporter. My mom always had my back. Always. So that she was my support. So I'm feeling the weight of her being gone. And I'm like, I'm by myself. I'm literally by myself in this family. Like, we don't agree on stuff. Like, this is, and you know, of course, we're not going to always agree. What time is it? Yeah, I got to get off of here because I got stuff to do before I leave. But of course, we're not always going to agree on things. And I don't expect that. But this right there, like the political thing is really a major thing for me. And I say that because I just don't understand how people can agree with someone who is so the opposite of what Jesus would do. I cannot. He was a friend to the poor. I cannot support somebody who, I don't want to get into the political thing, but I just for the life of me just cannot understand. Even though, okay, yeah, he's putting prayer back in school, all the stuff, the Christianly things that they love, taking the bathrooms back to male and female and this and that stuff that they just love and to just rip and rave on. I'm like, but what else? But do y'all see what else? Okay. Woo, Jesus. I can't. I can't. And that right there is scary. It's scary that I feel like I'm in a twilight zone when I'm with my family, because I'm like, how can you guys say that y'all love the Lord and you are walking with God and just doing, but you cannot empathize with the people, the foreigners, the poor, I don't understand that. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not judge. That's how I live. I'm not nobody's God. I'm not God. I don't have no heaven or hell to put nobody in. So I'm not judging. I do not care about what Johnny do in Johnny's room. I don't care. Just leave. Johnny need to stay over there with him, and that's it. I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna show love. That's it. That's it. We don't agree. So that made me very emotional. My cousin, who was an owner of the house, came out, and her sister, who is the junior pastor at the church, they both came out. And now the junior pastor cousin of mine, she was very apologetic because she was one of the ones that was helping to keep the conversation going, talking about, let's talk about, which was very surprising to me because she's never like that. She's never like that. But this time she was. And then she came out and she literally, and she's not a very emotional person either, but she broke down into tears, which, wow, she said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She said, I did not realize. She said, and you're not alone. You're not alone, Ray. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. But when you're attacked like that, can't help it. You know, can't help but feel like, especially from your family, people that's supposed to be your blood, attacking you. Yeah. And that other cousin said, if I was down there, I would have shut it down. I said, I already know. She's so ghetto. That cousin right there, she ghetto. She not ghetto. She's just very loud, and she gonna tell you about yourself. But not ghetto. That's the wrong. But out of all of us, I would say she the most ratchet. But yeah, so that happened. So I don't know. I told my auntie that I don't think I want to go this year to Texas, and she looked at me and she was like, "What? No, no." She mentioned Texas. She was like, "Yeah, because when we go to Texas in December, da 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 da," and I was just like, and I was kind of looking around. And she said, "You not going to Texas?" And I said, "Listen, the last time we were there, it was very emotional for me. I don't want to do it again." And she was like, "Yeah, she gets her point right. She does." Yeah. Hey, Craig, watch your channel to learn about the funeral business. Okay. Well, I'm not talking about the funeral business today, Craig. Are you trying to tell me I need to talk about the funeral business and get off of my life? That's what you're saying? You don't want to hear about my life? That's what you're trying to say, Craig? Craig. Who was Friday? Is that Friday? But yeah, that's why y'all make it. I get it. I do understand where you guys are coming from. You guys joined or subscribed to my channel because of the funeral stuff that I started putting on there. But honestly, I did not start this channel to talk about the funeral industry. My channel, if you go way back, it was not about that at all. I posted a video about the industry back in, I think in 2021, and it kind of went from there, and that's where it kind of grew. And I get it. That's where I got most of my subscribers from, is talking about the funeral industry. But that's not my life. Funeral industry is not my life. No one wants to teach me, so I learned from Craig. And yeah, it sucks because I can't show you guys stuff that that you guys want to see or whatever. That's not. Thank you, JD. That's not something that I can do. I try to do a little bit of stuff, and then I do have something for my my, what is it? Members. I do have a video for my members that I'm gonna edit. What's today? Oh, y'all, I gotta edit another video because I'm trying to put out 1 to 2 videos a week to get caught up on all my old content from last year that I refused to delete. I was like, y'all got all this content. Y'all gonna see this content. Somebody gonna watch this content. So the birthday video was from last year, guys. My birthday is in August, so it has not yet come. So when they were singing happy birthday, when I was editing the video and they were singing happy birthday to me, my son goes, "Mommy, it's your birthday?" And I'm like, "No, baby, it's not my birthday." Even my godmother, my godmother texted me last week and said happy birthday. And I'm like, now she should know my birthday. Hold on. I said, my birthday is in August. Hello. That was from last year. That's why I made sure to put the date in the title, and I put it in the description that it was from last year. And even when the video starts, it has the date. But y'all don't be paying attention. It has the date right there on there so that you could know that this is previously recorded months ago. But I got so much content that I want to get out because somebody need to watch it. I recorded it. Somebody need to watch it. So yeah. But thank you for the birthday wishes. But then you're gonna have to do it again in a few months. Because it's in August. Matt is so adorable. Thank you. He is good. He is. And that's why his name is Matthew. Gift from God. Yes, that's my baby. Right. Funeral services is a lifestyle, not our lives. It's definitely not mine. Have you considered? No, I did Patreon before. But No, I'm just gonna stick with. It's just too many platforms, y'all. It's just way too many to have to keep up with. Way too many. So I just gotta keep it simple. Um, what else? All right, but anyways, I need to get back to work. How old would you be? I just turned 49 weeks ago. How old? Don't ask a lady her age. What? Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Baron. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. But I got more content coming from you guys. I'm going to put out a video. It may not be 2 videos this week. You may just get the one because of the fact that I'm working in the office this week. So I can when I'm at home and once I get done with work and everything. That's right. Dang it. I was supposed to check on that death certificate. Once I get work done and everything, and because my son is not there and it's quiet and everything, the phones are not ringing, I'm able to edit. And I've been really trying to really keep up with editing. Oh God, you know what? Ooh, Jesus. I can't. So, good. I got the permit. Yes. I got the permit. Print. Yes. Y'all getting these PA cases out. Shoot. Amen. My cooler is a lot. It's less, it's less full. I got, because I think when I talked to you guys the last time, I had like 9 or 10. 9. I picked up 2 more, so it was like 11. But now I'm down to 4, I think. 3 or 4. Actually, 1 is leaving tomorrow. Only problem is I'm the one that's going to have to take them. And then the other one is the one I just got the permit for. Hopefully he'll be leaving next week. Yes, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Woo. Yes. Soon as the public administrators say county dispo, be like, because when they say county dispo, that means they can leave here. So, and permit. And this guy, I don't know if y'all follow me on TikTok. Well, I think I posted it on, I posted it on all the platforms, I believe. That video about the disrespectful loved one. And him and the other one that I don't know if they were trying to hunch or what. I don't know what they were doing in that cooler. I don't know how she got where she got. I don't know how his bag was open. His body bag unzipped open. I'm like, is your bag open? And then I start thinking, who could have opened the bag? You know, I need to ask Ace. I need to ask Ace if he opened up that bag to look at him, because he was leaking in that cooler and he probably did open it to see like where the fluid was coming from. I don't know. Because I don't want to think anything else, but that bag got open somehow. Somehow, some way. And I'm just mopping up the floor in there, and I'm like trying to get stuff clean, so I'm gonna get out of here and go back, because my family have family dinner on Sundays, and I'm here on a Sunday. This was not last Sunday, but the Sunday before last, was it? No, yeah, the Sunday before last. So I'm in here. I'm like, okay, I checked on both of the loved ones. Their services were coming up that week. So I wanted to make sure that they were still holding up well, and they were. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Even though the woman, I'm not even going to lie, y'all. Woo, Jesus, the guy, he was. And No problems. No problems. That means dark skin. Yes. Just no problems. Beautiful skin. Oh, beautiful skin, beautiful hair. Just nice looking. And unfortunately, this young man was found deceased in if I'm not mistaken, in an alley. And they want to say they if I'm not mistaken, I was told that they want to rule it. What do we say in the social media world for SUICIDE? Did I spell that right? Yeah. So they wanted to say rule it that, but I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So it's DC says deferred. The causes are deferred. So that means it's still pending investigation. So I believe that I don't believe he unalived himself. There we go. Unalived himself. There you go. Oh, self-deleted. Right. That's a good one too, baby. And I've heard that one before. Thank you, thank you. You don't have anyone lingering, do you? I hope not. Don't say that, JD. Don't say that. So, handsome young man, young too. I think he was only 40 years young. Married, was a football coach, had everything to live for, but then self-deleted. Really? No, I really do believe somebody unalived him. And that's sad. So, did him. I mean, when I tell you, just flawless. He was very simple. I get to her, do. Open up the casket. I'm like, eek. What the heck? Now, mind you, Asa, my old embalmer Ace, he came and bless him, thank you Jesus. He came and helped me out, and he dressed and casketed her for me. And he told me, he said, Miss Ray, who embalmed her? And I said, why? What's wrong? So I knew it had to be something wrong. Look, this little cow neck thing is doing too much. Showing all my goodies. That's gonna get reduced. Anyways. So he goes, who embalmed her? I'm like, why? Why are you asking? He goes, she's not embalmed very well at all. I said, oh my God, don't tell me that. He said, it's like the fluid did not get nowhere in her face, nowhere in her hands, and this and that. And I'm like, oh God. Now the next day I was coming in to cosmetize. So I'm just like, oh my God, is there anything that could be done? And he was like, no, not now. There's nothing that could be done now. And I'm like, oh my God. He said, especially if the family is coming to see her tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, they coming to see her tomorrow. So when I get in the next day to do her hair and makeup, I open up that casket and I'm like, what? They didn't tell. Not only was she not embalmed very well, I don't know. I've later found out that one of my staff members told me that the embalmer was having a problem with her embalming her, and she kept mentioning that like she's not taking too well to the fluid or what have you or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, well that's something that she should have told me, because that's not good. And if that was the case, why didn't she come back and check up on her and make sure that she was packed or whatever? Another story for another day. Y'all, I can't explain what packing is or whatever right now. So I go to do her makeup, and you guys, when I tell you, how you know that they're not embalmed very well is the looseness of skin. When you're embalmed, you are very stiff. You're firm. That's a good way to put it. Very firm. When I tell you, when I'm trying to put makeup on her, her face was so loose. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Now, mind you, it's not something that's you can see with the naked eye. Like, if you're not in the industry, you don't know. So it's not like somebody can come and look and say, oh, she's not in Bonwell. No. If you're not, if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? If you're not in the industry, you would not know. Like, my other staff members, they couldn't look at her and tell. I could, because I've been doing hair and makeup on the loved ones for a long time, so I know. And so when I started doing her, I just said, I prayed, I called on all my ancestors, her ancestors, and her. I said, I'm gonna need your help to get you right. Need your help. And then they brought a purple palette for her eyelids. I'm like, purple and red lipstick. I said, they really want purple and red? Okay. So I blend, did what I do. Now, I'm not no makeup artist, now, y'all. I'm not. Like, she literally should have had, I should have called in an actual makeup artist to come and do her. But I just said, it's too late. Like, the counselor should have told me that the family wanted X, Y, and Z, and I would have told her, you need to charge them extra for an actual makeup artist, because we just do basic. We don't do all of that. So, but I did it. I did it. You know, thank God for YouTube videos and me practicing on myself for years. So, I did it. Got her looking really good, but I didn't know if the family was going to like her, because I was like, they do know that they brought a purple eye palette, so it's different purple colors. It's not just all, you know, one color purple. It was just different hues of purple. So I kind of blended, you know, did my thing. And a red lip, so I was like, I hope this is what they want. And I went ahead and put eyelashes on her, because her lashes on one side was a little full, but on the other side it wasn't. She was missing some eyelashes, so I went ahead and put lashes on her. And I was like, oh God, I don't know if the family is gonna like that or not. And I asked Miss Tiffany to pick up some just basic eyelashes. No fluff, just real basic. And yeah, she brought me some, and I put it on her, and I did that, and did her nails. They brought red polish for her nails and everything, and she had on like a cream suit. So she looked good to me, but it's not my loved one. So, you know, I didn't know how the family was gonna react. So y'all, I'm in here while they doing the approval viewing. I'm in here praying like, oh Lord, talking to one of my staff members, and I'm like, oh God, my stomach. I just feel, when a family is here to approve after I've done the work, I'm nervous always, and I always want to do a good job, always. So I'm like really nervous. And I heard somebody's like crying like a lot, like no, and I was like, oh. So I'm in here thinking, oh my God, is that no? Because they like, she look hideous. Why? What is this? Oh God, I'm in here. I'm just stressed. I'm like, oh God. And so after a while, Miss Tiffany comes in, and she said, family was very pleased. They approved. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I can breathe. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh God, this. She said they were very pleased. I'm like, oh, that's what we want to hear. We don't never want to hear no, they look horrible. We want to hear no, they look good, or they look sleep, or in her case, she was saying no, because this was the first time seeing, I believe this was her mom, seeing her, you know. So I understood that. So thank God. So we get to the cooler, y'all, because I went off on a tangent talking about those two loved ones. But anyways, so back to that Sunday. I'm in here checking on those two loved ones. Everything was cool. I'm like, okay, I remember that there's a loved one being very disrespectful and leaking all over the place, leaking all in the cooler. every time I went to the cooler, I don't care how many times I mopped it up, every time I went back, there was leak. And I was like, it gotta be coming from this person, because I thought it was coming from another loved one, but I said it has to be coming from this person. It must be a slant in my um in my cooler on the floor, because the fluid must be leaking down this way, because every time I would come into the cooler, it was always on this end. Now this person is over here, but the fluid will be like a lot over on this side. So I'm like, it has to be coming from this person. It has to be. And then it's just going down that way. So I'm like, okay, let me go in here, let me clean this up, because where there's fluid, hopefully y'all know, there is a what? An odor. I always say that. If so, where someone is leaking, when you smell an odor, that means someone is leaking. So I need to clean that up, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Let's just ain't nobody else. I don't have nobody else that will do it here. Not anymore. So I go in there. I'm mopping up the floor, doing that, and I'm just like, because it's nothing glamorous about that. It's just, it's nasty. Oh, and I put booties on my shoes. Thank God I bought some booties to put on my shoes, and Jesus, did all of that, was cleaning up, and I'm just like, dang, how are you leaking? And I look over at him. I'm like, you just so disrespect. Wait, is your bag open? How did his bag get open? I'm just, everything going through my head. How did his bag get open? No wonder there's fluid everywhere. The bag is open. But wait. Then I'm looking on the side of him. Then I look up. And then I go look down again. Y'all. To be continued. Somebody at my door. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So I'm looking, and right on the side of the disrespectful one is another loved one. I'm like, how did you get there? I'm thinking, was there an earthquake? Was what? How? What would have? Y'all, then I'm looking around. You know, everything going through my mind. So then I'm trying to pull that other loved one, and I couldn't. So I had to call on some help. And thank God she came to help me. This is a lady that comes and helps me every once in a while when I need help. We kind of like help each other out. And I said, I'm so sorry to bother you on a Sunday. I'm so sorry, but are you around? I said, this was via voice note. I sent her a voice note. I'm like, are you around? I said, I need to tell you what's going on. And I told her what was happening. And then she texted me and said, on my way. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Because I didn't know who else to call. Like, I don't have no male help anymore. Like, none. As far as to do stuff like that. I don't have anybody like that anymore. And then, yeah. And then the other staff members that that works with me, they don't do stuff like that. So it's just me. So and it used to be me and my mama. Me and my mama did all of that, you know, and it just makes me miss her so much more when stuff like that happens. And, you know, I'll be feeling like I'm by myself. So, anyways, thank God she came. She helped me. The first thing she said when she walked in, she said, "How?" That's the like, how? And she said the same thing. Was there an earthquake? And I said, no, there wasn't no earthquake. So I have no clue. All I could think, I was like, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to get their last hunch. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, Lord. And then the lights in the cooler are like not working properly right now. And I said, maybe that they maybe it's them. They didn't made the made some mood. Like, no, no. I don't know. But oh God. That was yeah. That was entertaining. But anyways, that happened. So yeah, wait a minute. I'm gonna answer a few more questions or whatever, and then I have to go. Wait. Treatment such as a cavity pack, right? Okay, Demonte. Hey, Demonte. Yes, good job. Thank you, thank you. My what? Hands was like concrete when I touched his hands at the viewing. Yeah. And mama's choice to use a stronger solution when embalming, that firmness. Yeah. Yeah, now my old embalmer, when he came to dress her, he would have, he said if I had time, I would do X, Y, and Z, but he didn't have time. He just only had time to dress her. So I just was like, oh Jesus, just Lord, get me through this, please, because this family was referred to us. I do not want to do a bad job. I don't want them to have a horrible experience. So it's just like, Lord, that's like I said, I called on all of my ancestors, hers and her, to help me. Please, please help. We need to help, Lord, because even though I can feel that she was not embalmed properly, I is you can't see it by looking at her, you know what I mean? But I wanted to make sure that her body held up for the service, you know? Don't God, Jesus, that was a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. Thank you, Jesus. The services went well. The family was pleased. To God be the glory. Both families were very pleased. Services went well. But back to, the disrespectful one. The disrespectful one, y'all, is leaving tomorrow. No. Nope. No. He's not leaving tomorrow. The one that I thought was the disrespectful one is leaving tomorrow, but it wasn't him. And I had to apologize to him. It wasn't you. I am so sorry. I kept blaming it on you. But it was. I do have to go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with me all the time. Is it tough to dress them? Who? The any loved one is kind of hard to dress, but I mean, there's a technique. But as far as the one that wasn't properly embalmed, no. Tech proper distribution can pick the top. You teaching me something, Demonte. Teaching me something. Look, that's not my, embalming is not my ministry. So you can also pay attention to the correctiveness of the facial colors. Thanks for the tea. Thank you. Pricking the toe works. Look at another one. There's another one in here. Hey, Coco. All right, guys. Love y'all. I'm probably going to go live again maybe tomorrow. I do have a I have a loved one I have to take to the morgue tomorrow, and I have a loved one I have to pick up from a hospital tomorrow. Maybe I'll take y'all on. I don't know. But this is my auntie again, so I gotta go. Love y'all. Bye.